Hello, and welcome to It's Not That Bad, optimistic movie reviews for optimistic people. That's Chad Ekowitz.
And that's Simone LaRue. Woo.
There we go.
There we go. Pleasant. Not as crazy as last week, but you know what? The energy is still there. It's just more reserved.
Last week had a lot of weird manic energy to it.
Look, I'm not sad about it, and I won't apologize for it, that's for sure.
For sure.
Like, last week was the punchy episode, and we're always going to be punchy. There's always energy. We like to conserve it.
Yeah, we can't help it, guys.
Yeah, we're just mental cases. Just crazy, crazy kids.
Yes, that's how
Crazy.
people would describe us, Chad, is just two crazy kids. So, easy breezy.
That was our names in university. They would just go, oh, that crazy Simone and that crazy Chad.
Oh, look at them living their best lives and not being full of anxiety. Look at them go.
What wonders. Although, to be fair, you and I were the only ones out of our peer group who got drunk on a weekday, midday, and then had to go and study and teach. So, to be fair, we were the crazy ones.
We were, like, the only ones at that time also who had jobs, and yet... we still
Look at us
drank
now.
before them.
I mean, to be fair, like, it made the time go by faster.
It really did, and I think my English tutoring got better.
Always. Always. I make it a point that you've got to drink before you go teach people.
I don't think that's true. I mean, I wouldn't know really, but I would guess.
Look, I mean, did the student pay you extra money? No. But did they pay you less? No. Therefore, you know...
Our listeners
Somewhere
who are
in between.
teachers, will you weigh in on how drunk you are exactly when you teach?
Yeah, just write into us. But for those of you who have never listened to this podcast before, this is the podcast where we take two movies every week which didn't do so well on the box office or by the critics, and we tell you why they're not that bad. It's an optimistic view on life, because when life is as shitty as it is, you need to find the rays of sunshine.
And you gotta remember that someone put their heart and soul into that very bad movie, and you know what? They deserve some credit for it.
Exactly.
We see you, makeup artists, CGI artists, costume designers.
And we recognize your amazingness, and this week is no different. Simone, what are you doing this week?
I am doing Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. I have a lot to say about this movie.
I have a lot of feelings about this film. And I'm kind of angry that I had to watch it.
I am not. I'm thrilled that I watched it.
I hope you got that in the text I sent you when I just said Valerian is 2 hours.
Yeah, there was
so
no
mad.
Punctuation, just dead inside.
I was so mad. And then I will be doing The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Some say Sean Connery's best piece of work.
Who says that?
I say that. Me, alone. The only person.
It's always fun where he can be as racist and sexist as possible.
It's great. It's the perfect film for him because he is a racist and a sexist.
Is he?
Oh yeah, have you not heard that story? So like in a early interview when he was doing Bond, he said, and I'm going to do my best Sean Connery accent here, he said, sometimes a woman just needs a good slap. And, and then like 20, 30 years goes by and he's sitting in another interview and the interviewer goes, oh, so, you remember back when you were doing Bond and in that interview you said, women deserve a good slap. Do you still feel the same way? And he's like, yes, women still sometimes need a good slap. So he hasn't learned a lesson.
Yeah, everybody
he
who
was
says
a wife
he's the best Bond is wrong.
Yeah, definitely. Who do you think is the best Bond? Who is your Bond?
Everybody hates my Bond. It's Pierce Brosnan.
I love Pierce Brosnan.
He's the Bond I grew up with.
Right?
And I don't like Daniel Craig. I'll say it now.
No.
Y'all can leave if you wanna.
Yeah, no, I gotta agree with you on this one, Simone. Like, Craig is just fucking awful.
Oh, screw that guy.
Ugh. But yeah, I agree with you. Pierce Brosnan, he's campy enough, he's suave enough. Halle Berry is an angel in that film.
Oh, God.
Oh, God. Right, so let's get crack-a-lackin'.
Yeah.
Tell me, what are you drinking this week?
I am drinking a Castle Light. Yes. All of the alcohol, slightly fewer calories.
It's the way forward. It's what the
even
gym
though
bros...
I will be having pizza for dinner tonight.
Yeah, but that's what it's about. It's the sacrificing on full fat beer.
Yeah.
For pizza.
And I ran an 11K this morning, so, you know.
Well done.
Out. Thank you.
Nice.
It was a very nice run. My dad cycled next to me.
Aw, that's so lovely. That's so cute.
Did not remember that I can't talk while I'm running uphill. Because I can't drop gears like he can.
And I know your dad probably was talking to you, wanting to find out about how everything's going.
He always asks me the most involved questions at the difficult bits.
He's the best. I love your dad to pieces.
I love my dad. He's great.
He's the best human being.
And what are you drinking?
What am I drinking? Yeah. Well, still in exam mode, so it's gonna be water. But I bought an awesome 2-liter fucking jug that I'm carrying around.
So you can get your curls in while you drink.
You know, life is gym is life, and that way, working on my fitness, she's my witness, up in the gym. And also, I just don't drink enough water. Guys, make sure you drink enough water, at least 3 liters a day. And so this giant 2-liter bottle sort of gets me there. And so I just carry it around.
Can I make a humble request for when you're finished with exams, which is that you fill that bottle with an alcoholic beverage of your choice and finish it during a recording?
My best friend, my absolute dearest and closest friend, that request is deeply accepted.
Yes! What date is that? I'm trying to predict.
I finished exams on the 10th of May.
Okay.
So our next recording day, that's on a Friday, so our next recording day would be the May 10th, 11th, 12th. Monday is the 13th of May.
Okay.
So
about a month from now.
Literally, just, 28 days from now, I will fill up my 2-liter thing with definitely a spirit, and maybe a mixer. Maybe a mixer, we'll see.
I would recommend a mixer.
Probably. And I will get absolutely trashed doing whatever movie we decide to do.
School-themed movies, just for you. High
School-themed movies?
Yeah.
Hey, I love a good school-themed movie.
Yeah, all the 16-year-olds look 24.
Can I do Ferris Bueller just so I can rant about its white privilege? It won't be fun, but it will just be insightful.
I think that's not really the point of our podcast.
It makes people mad, especially my parents.
Well...
So, yeah, maybe not. But yes, I will definitely fill it with 2 liters of alcohol, and we're going to get riggedy wrecked. I'm very excited.
Perfect. I'm excited.
But as we said last week, since it wouldn't be very much fun if you just went first every time, I will go first this week, just to make it fair. So we can finish on Valerian, which is always going to be fun. Right, so, plot synopsis, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Now, this plot is crazy, so I've left out a lot of it, because it is just fucking mental, and we'll be here all day.
Yeah.
Only Alan Moore could create a plot this complex, and it still make sort of sense. I love that wizard. What a fucking ace.
He is a wizard.
He literally identifies as a wizard, which is amazing.
Sexually, or just identity?
I think as a career. As a career.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. So, here we go. It's the turn of the century, 1899, and war is on the brink. We open with a tank, the first ever tank, storming through London and crashing into the Bank of England, where the owner of said tanks, a facially deformed man in a silver Phantom of the Opera mask, steals both money and the blueprints to Venice. Why those are in the vaults of the Bank of England is a question never answered. The English think it's the Germans are like, hey, it's not us, and everyone is getting pumped for war. England is worried. So, what does the Queen do when war is on the brink? She seeks help from one Alan Quatermain, played by Sean Connery. Quatermain is now living in deepest, darkest Africa. He has retired and is a hunter who, in his heyday, worked for the Queen and country, solving mysteries and killing bad guys. At first, he tells England to fuck off, he's retired, but then his favourite bar in Africa is blown up, so he's like, yep, I'm in. Also, it's said that Africa will never let Quatermain die. This is relevant detail and foreshadows the whole film, so just keep that in mind. He meets the man who recruited him, a man named M. M is putting together a group of unique individuals who can stop this threat, the threat being the tank guy from the beginning named the Phantom. M believes that the Phantom is planning to start a world war in order to profit from it by selling his weapons. M has already recruited Captain Nemo, played by Nasruddin Shah, who is a master engineer and a pirate, as well as Mr. Skinner, played by Tony Curran, who is more well known by his other name, the Invisible Man. And lastly, Dr. Mina Harker, played by Peter Wilson, who we later find out is a vampire. They still have 2 members to recruit, so the 4-man team, led by Quatermain, go to seek them out. Long story short, they are able to recruit Dorian Gray, played by Stuart Townsend, and Dr. Jekyll, played by Jason Fleming. We all know who these guys are, but just in case you don't, Dorian Gray has a magic painting which allows him to be immortal by the painting growing older and taking whatever damage he incurs. If he is ever to look at the painting, the effect will be reversed and he will die. Dr. Jekyll has an alternative body living inside him known as Mr. Hyde, who is a giant thing that likes raping and killing women. So, an extraordinary gentleman, of course. They also recruit a young American by accident, by the name of Tom Sawyer, played by Shane West, who sort of fills the son role for Quatermain, since his son died. Now, they're all recruited, they can save the world. M plans on blowing up Venice. Oh, whoops, I revealed a massive plot point by accident there. Oh shit, Phantom... No. They forget I said that. M doesn't plan to do anything. It's not M, it's the Phantom. The Phantom plans on blowing up Venice, hence the plans from the beginning of the film, and believes this will spark war. The League go to stop it, and, after some hijinks, are able to do so. During all of this, it turns out that the Phantom is actually M in disguise. See? Plot point. Revealed. Now. Not before. Way. And Dorian Gray has been working for him. M's idea is to profit from the war by collecting samples of each of the League members' special abilities and selling them to the highest bidder. He's already collected all the samples and is now manufacturing them in Siberia and will soon be able to sell them off. The team then go to Siberia and try to stop him. More hijinks ensue. It turns out M is actually Moriarty from Sherlock Holmes fame, but his plan is still the same, to profit off the war. The League are able to stop him, but Quatermain is stabbed and dies. They bury him back in Africa, but after the old saying that Africa would never let Quatermain die, it is hinted that a witch doctor will now revive him. The film ends with Quatermain with Quatermain's grave shaking and him, allegedly, being brought back to life. The end?
Oh.
But seriously, And I think that's the saddest part of all of this, is the fact that we didn't get a League of Extraordinary Gentlemen 2.
Is that the saddest part? Look, I'm not gonna lie, I am into the premise. I love a mishmash of different literary monsters, okay? I loved Penny Dreadful for the exact same reasons, and Penny Dreadful was probably the better version of this.
Yeah, definitely.
Because why? The dude was less racist and sexist in it.
Look, it's Sean Connery being Sean Connery, and it's upsetting in so many ways.
I guess, if you want to say, it's accurate, probably to the character who's yes, I feel a deep connection to the plains of Africa, where people of colour need to serve me.
That's the best bit about this film, is they're in Africa, and there's, 2 black people.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And all of them are natives, and, yeah. There's just one big bar in the middle of Africa,
with all
and
the
everything
white
around
dudes
it,
out.
And everything around it is just huts.
Yeah.
It's superb. It paints a really good image of Africa.
At its finest.
It's the best. It's why we love the Queen and England.
Yes, so much. Thanks, guys.
You're so welcome for, chucking you back 1,000 years. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. So the first thing that really confused me, and I really wanted to check this out, and I will concede the point, is that Quatermain has to sail from Africa to Britain, and I thought, in 1899 this should take a long time, right? It only should take, I did some research on this, and it should only take a month, it turns out, which is very surprising. I thought back in 1899 it would have taken a year to get from Africa to England.
Their ships were very quick.
So it kind of makes more sense that Nemo has such a great ship that can get them from England to Venice in a day. Which, I mean, to be fair, not technically hard, but I guess, yeah. So, yeah.
Cool.
Just a kind of interesting fact I found.
Yeah, I don't know why Nemo couldn't have just picked up Quatermain, since he's clearly being the Uber for most of this movie.
And isn't that a little racist?
At least they didn't get a white guy to play him.
That is very true. Thank goodness for that. But I do love Nemo. I think he's my favorite member of the League. Because, in that fight scene in the library where everyone's got bullets and shit, he's just rocking out with a sword, just flaying everyone.
He's
It's
like
beautiful.
old school, but like not in a frustrating way.
Yeah, exactly. Who was your favorite member of the League of Extraordinary Gentle People?
I'm gonna have to go with Nemo too, just because he was like the least frustrating. And also, I'm just a huge Dorian Gray fan, so like anytime Dorian Gray gets to flex and be evil, it's so fun. And it's also really funny that like a lot of these like sort of credit him with like a great intellect or whatever.
Yeah.
When really he was just like some pretty dude that got painted and was like, whoop.
It's very true. Like, he was an incredibly average guy. He was just really gorgeous, which, I mean, let's be fair. Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, let's be fair. In this film, it's no different. What a hottie. Good lord.
Super hot. I remember I watched this movie and then I found out that Stuart Townsend was playing Lestat in Queen of the Damned, and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be so good. And then I watched Queen of the Damned, and, we should cover that. Maybe I should do that next week.
Do you want to do that for next week?
Yeah.
Oh god. Okay, that's cool.
You're welcome.
It's fine. Mine's gonna make you very angry. That was a hint. That was a hint at it. I hope our listeners can guess what it would be before the end of the episode, and if you can as well, already. Extra points. Yeah, Dorian Gray is amazing. I love the Dorian Gray film, but that's for a different time. But yeah, he is, like, I think that's the thing about that part of it, is that Dorian Gray isn't special, like you said. He's got no magic abilities at all. He's just immortal.
He's just some dumb rich kid.
The point is that the painting is so lifelike, and that's what gives it the powers. It has nothing to do with him. Yeah. Like, it's all about this painting, and that's just hilarious.
So as always, I am frustrated by the constant, like, dichotomy of the dudes who are like, oh, what's a woman doing here? A woman couldn't possibly contribute anything, they say, looking at a man that's invisible. Like, and then she's like, oh, I don't need protection, I don't need anything, I'm going to be sassy and kick butt. And you're just, and like, they don't, like, even get a begrudging respect later. They're just like, no. Oh, I guess she's, like, basically a dude, so whatever. But she's probably still dumb.
Yeah, it always amazes me how men react to women in positions like that. Like, it's literally like, if you've ever seen a troop of baboons or anything, when, like, a snake or something enters their sort of lair, the baboons just freak the fuck out. Yeah. And start, like, just, like, hollering and stuff. And men are the exact same. As soon as a woman is treated as equal, they're just like, rah, rah, what do we do? A woman?
How could this be possible?
I saw a really great quote the other day, and it was so funny. It's like, the reason women are so behind the times is they choose professions that are lesser than men. Like, the exact same position that the man holds, just for less money.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not funny. It's just true and sad.
It's almost like we're consistently undervalued by society or something. I don't know.
I don't understand it. I mean, you know, we love
what
women.
What would my dumb woman brain be able to figure out anyway?
Look, Simone, as a white man, let me tell you about your brain. Even though you've done neuroscience, let me tell you, you know, it's all about your ovaries. You can't have overreacting without ovaries. And so it's just,
they're totally spelled
that's what
the
it is.
same.
Yeah, and that's what it is. That's all it is, really.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You know what? Go buy yourself something pretty, okay?
I cannot tell you the number of times I've walked into a Krav class and I get paired up with some dude who, like, maybe hasn't seen me before. So I guess maybe he thinks I'm new, but he's only been going for, like, 2 months, so he thinks he's hot shit. And have him very kindly just explain all the moves to me. Oh. And I go, no, I know. And he's like, oh, okay. And then I inevitably throw them a little harder than I should.
I mean,
because
do you though? Upset. Because you should. Yeah.
and they'll still turn around and be like, you really should kick my leg a bit more to get that right. I'm like, I'm
for our non-visual listeners, which is pretty much all of you, I'm literally speechless at how incredulous and chauvinistic that is. That is upsetting.
Yeah, I've literally had guys explain what I'm doing back to me, and they'll be like, this is what you're doing wrong, and I'm like, that's not what I'm doing wrong. And I can take criticism.
Yeah, Yeah, no, I know that, but like it's just the case that they think they know better than you.
It's really fun.
That's annoying. That's upsetting. Oh. But, you know, it's fine because, you know, I'm trying to literally think of literally anything that has made women more equal.
Funny, and usually I'll maybe accidentally really hit them.
You should. I think that's fair. I think that is very, very fair to actually kill them. If you killed them, it would be fine.
They learn real quick.
They should. They should. So, as someone who is a complete badass, which is you, I wanted to talk to you about the unsafe gun practices in this film. Let's go into those things.
What could you mean?
Could the fact that so many times does Tom Sawyer just lean on his shotgun on his face, putting his chin right against the nose, the nuzzle, the snout of the gun, very Kurt Cobain style, and
especially like with the guns they had those days, where like a fucking stiff breeze could get them to go off.
It is insane how often these guys pointed their guns at their own faces throughout this film, and not one person. For people who don't know about very much about like film sets and things like that, they literally have a person on set with them in every film. It's kind of almost required, that checks for consistency and makes sure that like the actors are saying the same lines over and over again and putting themselves in the same position over and over again, so to keep consistency for editing and shots. And that guy didn't go, just a hint. Listen, look, you're a famous actor, Sean. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Yes. You've been in Bond. But a master of guns definitely wouldn't point a gun at his own face.
Like, even when you're, like, cleaning the gun, you're not supposed to point the muzzle, like, in that direction.
Yeah. Like, very, very bad things can happen.
Like, and it was... Oh, boy.
Yeah, that was an upsetting couple moments in the film.
What did you like about this movie?
I loved everything about it. When I was writing my scene that could have saved it, which we'll go into, I literally couldn't think of a thing that I didn't love about this movie. It's crazy, it's zany, these guys, it's set in the perfect time where it's just like nothing makes sense because it's like early 1900s, like it's all dumb. The machines are grotesque, but everything just comes together perfectly.
Like, just a little bit of steampunk to get you through.
Yeah, it's beautiful, and the Nautilus is gorgeous. The automobile is fucking hilarious.
Like, beautiful. I'd drive the shit out of that car.
Oh, it was great, and it's just fantastic. I love all of it. I really do. I honestly, like, it's one of those films that I put on again and again and again and again. Because it's just so great. It's so dumb, but it's just so great. What did you enjoy about it?
I think the same. Like, it's just so campy. Like, yeah, it's all of these, like, people from different novels coming together, like, fighting crime. And what? The guy in charge is the bad guy. That doesn't make sense, but let's go with it. It's fun. Dorian Gray's obviously evil, you guys. Like, inevitably, she and Christian are gonna have sexy banter. Not Christian, sorry, wrong movie.
You're still stuck on that one, yeah.
This 50 Shades will never leave my brain.
I mean, that's fair, because,
is it?
You know, it's the best, it's one of our best films ever. I love it. I watch it quite periodically now. Could you imagine, how great would that have been if it was written into the books for 50 Shades of Grey that Dorian Gray is actually like a distant ancestor of Christian Grey?
Honestly, that's too wildly creative for E.L. James.
Oh, a little bit of a burn there. That's great. I mean,
she did have the bad guy. His last name was Hyde.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Fucking God.
Yeah, it was pretty... And I mean, her name was Anastasia Steele. Steele. Okay. But no, we're not going back. We said we weren't going to go back.
But I will say, I don't think people use the name Wilhelmina enough.
It's a great name.
It's a beautiful name.
And Mina was pretty badass.
Yeah, she was really cool. I always just wish a lot of female characters, I mean, I know, like, it's a character thing, just didn't have, like, stick up their butt, like, oh, men don't respect me. I don't need protection. And she could have just been like, you know, because they're like, what are you doing here? And she'd be like, I'm one of the legions of the undead.
Yeah, simple as that. Done. No need to explain anymore.
Or just like, find out, nerd. You know, like... I think I'm just really sick of that trope, but I get it. I saw, you know, everybody was like, oh, women are at best a distraction. And she's like, okay.
I think that was great about it as well. Like, you know, the fact that it was a film from like 1899, like that's when it was set. You know, obviously it was made in the early 2000s, I believe. 2003? So they couldn't be racist anymore. 2003. So racism was starting to get phased out, you know, because of being in well, you know, in 2019 we've cured racism, obviously. So, you know, 2003 was sort of the start of being like, you know what? Maybe we should treat people who are different equally to us. But still not women. Women should not be treated equal.
Yeah.
So like they played that line really hard in this film. Like they treated women like shit. Like Mina was just treated like crap. But the single non-white character was given respect because he was a man, and that was amazing. I think they should have just doubled down and just Sean Connery is like super racist to Nemo and like overly sexist to Mina. And just really also, gone for it.
Like, Tom Sawyer's having fucking none of it. He's like, stop trying to be my dad. You're just like my real dad, who is also racist and sexist.
That would have been good. Like, a little bit of conflict.
Oh, you can correct me if I'm wrong, and I'll cut this out. Tom Sawyer was the one who, like, goes on, like, a raft down the river with the black dude.
Yes, when he was a kid.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's still a lot of racial slurs in that book. But you'd think that he'd be like, dude.
I mean, even in To Catch a Mockingbird, which was about racism, they still used the N-word. And it would have been great if Sean Connery just pulled that out here. Ooh. Just like out of nowhere, just been like in Africa, to just like, yes, my finest N-word. And we're all like, whoa! But no.
Or even like a K-word if we want to get regional.
Whoa, there you go.
Yeah.
Did you know that the German word for beetle is Käfer? And it really upsets me.
Well, I always, so like now in shops you can buy kefir. It's like a fermented milk drink.
Right.
And you just have to really lean on that E.
Yeah, really hit it hard. But yeah, I think it's a great film. What do you think could have saved it, given what we've said about how just overall great it is?
I really do like our just now idea of like leading into the fact that Quarter Remains like really horrible and everybody's like, dude.
Yeah, that would have been really great.
And he, like, fucking stays dead because people in Africa are like, no, a witch doctor didn't bless him with fucking immortality. He was the worst.
Yeah, he was really mean to all of us, so why would he do that?
But I think, this movie, it is what it is. Like, it was never gonna be Oscar-worthy. It was never gonna, like, be one of the best movies of all time. It was what it is. A comic book adaptation where a bunch of characters that we all know and love get together and fight a bad guy.
Yeah. And that's all it had to be. And it was perfect for that.
It's so entertaining.
Yeah, I completely agree. And if you do get a chance to read the graphic novel, do it, because it is superb. The artistry is great, the story is great, and it's quite close to the film, which is amazing in itself. Like, the film does really well at describing it. And I completely agree with you. This film in itself is just great, but my theory and what I would choose as a thing that could have saved it was I just think it was done in the wrong era. So, like, early 2000s, it's really difficult for a film like this to do really well. But I think now, 2017, 18, 19, we're seeing, like, the emergence of really stupid ideas becoming really amazing.
Yeah.
Like, superhero films should not be what they are. Like, they should not be this billion-dollar industry.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest, guys. They're fucking superhero films. Why do we give so much of a shit about them? And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna go see Endgame the second it comes out. Obviously. Yeah. But I just think that the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen would have done better if it was made now.
Who would you
on, like,
cast
Netflix.
In, like... Oh, and it should be a series. It should totally be a series. Yeah,
It would be a great Netflix series.
I'm not trying to think of people to cast. Definitely, as Tom Sawyer, it's got to be Chris Hemsworth. Or Liam Hemsworth. I'll allow either one.
A Hemsworth brother.
A Hemsworth brother.
I like it. I think Quatermain.
Mm.
Who? This is a good question, actually. Thinking of, like, sexy older actors now. I know we keep...
Oh, but it's also gotta be kind of an asshole, you know? Like, they have to lean into it a bit. I think... Who plays Tywin Lannister in Game of Thrones? Like, he'd be fun.
He'd be really good at that. I would get behind that. I think for oh, hello, boy. He's talking today. He's on the podcast now.
Come here.
Who do you think should be in the cast? Young. Which one is it? Is it Magnus or is it Oliver? He's so talky.
It's Magnus. He's very chatty.
He's very chatty today. Oh, Magnus.
Come here, I'll give you love.
It's fine.
Well, we're gonna edit a lot out.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a really hard one to cast, but like, I think Dorian Gray. I know what I know exactly who I would want, but
who do you want? Who is it gonna be?
Your favorite human being of all time, Michael Sheen.
And he is like just kind of a dumb asshole.
Yeah, I would love Dorian Gray to be that. Just him or Jekyll and Hyde. I think he would either make... He would.
No, Michael Sheen would be great Jekyll and Hyde. I think that would be a much better use of his acting ability.
Then I'm gonna have to go for the fallback and go John Hamm for Dorian Gray.
Oh, and but he plays Dr. Bear in 30 Rock. Like, he's so nice but so dumb. So dumb. It would be amazing, and he's just like the most liable. Like, he's such a liability to the team. Like, it's just fucking awful. Just, like, really sexy, because I feel like Stuart Townsend has a lot of like sexuality to him. Yeah. Do you know who would be, I think, kind of good and maybe a redeeming role for him? Would be Robert Pattinson. Ooh, bold choice, but a good choice. Yeah. Like, he could be like a little like charming. Yeah. That could actually be really good. I think he'd do a good job, and I think he'd have fun with it. Yeah, no, I could get behind that, And Mina? Who would you want to see? My thoughts immediately went to Scarlett Johansson, and then I was like, no, definitely not. Never. Not ScarJo. Never It's gotta be someone... I think Mina was really well cast in this, because she just had, like, such strong bone structure, you know? Who's the lead actress? I can never remember her name. Girl on the Train... Emily Blunt? A Quiet Place. Yeah, Emily Blunt. I think she'd be perfect. Do you think she would have time for such things? I think she would love to do such things. She's one of those actors who's just like so up for a good laugh. Yeah, she would. And this would be perfect for that. And her husband would have to direct. Yeah, I mean, obviously. So yeah, I think we've cast a good one for this. Netflix, for the reboot. Hit us up. Netflix. This is what we're gonna do. We'll pitch it to Netflix. League of Extraordinary Gentle People, we'll call it, with a question mark at the end, and it will be fantastic. It'll be so good. And they're like, we're already doing Penny Dreadful. And it's like, no, don't worry. League of Extraordinary Gentle People will be even better. I promise you. Trust in us. Oh. And Magnus says yes. Come here. I'll give you attention if you come here. I've got earphones in. Wow. Come here, baby boy. You are being so feisty today. He's so silly. He's got his grumpy face on, too. I know our listeners won't mind that at all, so... No. He's a perfect boy. So, should I tell you about this director? Yes, please. So, you've got Stephen Norrington, who's the director in this. Now, your boy hasn't done a lot, but he looks like a really skinny version of Guy Fieri, which just makes me happy. He's got, like, amazing. The white tipped hair, he's got the handlebar mustache, but he's really skinny, and it just makes me very happy. But to be honest, he's only done 4 films, but one of which was Blade, so this guy is already amazing. Yeah. I don't care about anything, but he's done more things with special effects and makeup, so you know what? I'm very for this guy. Yeah. You know, I think he's a great director. He just needs to be given a lot more chances. Yeah. I'm excited to see where he comes into. Yeah, we'll back him. We'll always back him. If I see a Steve Norrington film, I'm gonna go to it. Okay, yeah, I agree. We will. Yeah. And that's The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Woo! Yeah. I loved it. What a film. And I will watch it go again and again and again.
So good. So, now, I guess, we have to talk about Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets.
Yes. Okay,
which,
so
as a title,
I am leaning very heavily on some IMDb summaries to help me through this, because I finished watching this about 10 minutes before we started recording the podcast. I apologize, everyone. My parents are in town, so I'm trying to spend time with them.
You know what? Don't apologize. You know, this podcast, it's a thing we do for fun. Hopefully we'll make some money out of it. But parents come first. I mean, we don't see our parents that often. I mean, I live with my parents right now because I'm a dirty bum. But, you know, you don't see your parents all that often. So,
no, I
yeah,
last saw
it's
them
nice
in
to see them.
October.
Exactly. So, you know, that's like 1,000 years in parent times.
So, Valerian and the City of 1,000 Planets takes place in the 28th century, when mankind has left Earth and is basically on like a bunch of floating, interconnected spaceships. This is Alpha, the City of 1,000 Planets, where like 5,000 alien species all coexist together and share their culture and technology. The movie stars Valerian, played by Dane DeHaan, and Laureline, played by Cara Delevingne. The two are agents working for the Alpha government. They are charged with extracting something called a replicator from a giant market. When they're, which they basically do, like, I just realized,
it's like a good...
I was like, yeah, so they do that.
Yeah, it takes about 25 minutes.
Yes. They are instructed to hand it over to the commander, played by Clive Owen, but instead Laureline says that she'll keep the replicator on her person. Thank goodness, because the entire, like, United Nations equivalent of Alpha is attacked, and the general is kidnapped, or the commander is kidnapped, because they think he has the replicator. What follows is a long journey of Valerian and Laureline trying to figure out what is happening, trying to get back to the general. It eventually turns out...
didn't we all try to figure out what was happening?
Through these adventures, they meet a jellyfish. They meet Rihanna, who plays a shape-shifting alien named Bubbles. The whole time, Valerian is also trying to get Laureline to marry him, even though she's like, you literally don't know anything about relationships. It eventually turns out that 30 years ago, the commander ordered the destruction of a city called Mule, or of a planet called Mule, even though he knew it had sentient life because he wanted to win a space battle. The inhabitants of the city of Mule, some of them managed to escape in a broken spaceship where they drifted through space for many years, teaching themselves, like, catching up on technology and physics and stuff, enough to be able to repair the ship, and eventually make their way to Alpha. There on Alpha, they've been slowly setting up their own, technology to be able to replicate their home planet and finally get a semblance of home and safety. The reason that Valerian has felt so drawn to these people and known where to go to find them is because the soul of the princess of the people of Mule has been in him the whole time. She chose him to carry out this mission. They get there, they confront the commander. They give the people of Mule the replicator, which they need to create more pearls, which have a bunch of energy, which help fuel their technology. And they just stop chaos as the army tries to blow up the people. That doesn't happen. And then the movie ends as Valerian and Laureline find themselves drifting through space on a broken spaceship, talking about love, realizing they want to be together, and the movie ends as they make out.
And it's perfect. It's just a perfect film filled with perfect acting.
Here's what I want to say. This film visually is super cool. Like, it stars two very attractive people, but, like, weirdly beautiful people. The CGI is insane, the costumes are crazy, like, the amount of detail that went into planning this is clearly super impressive.
Yeah.
And I'll say, like, even some of the dialogue and some aspects of the script are actually, like, really good, and I laughed a couple times.
Yeah, no, there were parts. Okay, I will concede on that fact that there were a couple parts that were actually pretty good. But like you said, the backstory and the world building was immensely brilliant.
Lacking. Oh, sorry.
Lacking? No.
Sorry.
I thought
I was
I
trying
thought
to
it was
anticipate.
I thought it was amazing, like the different species and things like that. You've got that sort of secret, clay people ones who try to eat Lorelei. Like, they're a great group of people. Like, it was very, very well done in terms of world building. But I think they fall into that trap that they've created so much exposition that they want to fit it into 2 hours.
Yeah.
And you just can't. There was just way too much exposition, and they were just, like, really forcing it down our throats.
Yeah.
Like, literally from, like, the first minute of the film, like, Valerian's just like, I'm a general, and I have had 29 partners, and you're the one that I love the most. And it's just like, whoa, calm down, dude. I don't need to know this and much information from you. I am intrigued by the fact that you said he's attractive, because I did not find him so. So I'm surprised.
He's more attractive in Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yes, agreed with you
where
there.
he's like angry.
Yeah. He's great in
so good.
in that too. He's got the Spider-Man emo hair.
He looks a little too healthy in Valerian. If that makes sense. But he's like I said, he's like a weirdly attractive dude. Like, you don't know why he's sexy. He just is. And you're like,
strangely attractive, yeah.
I don't know what's happening.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but they do go on about how handsome he is. Like,
Quite a bit.
Yeah, like to the point where it feels like you're trying to make us believe that he's handsome. Like, if you want to cast someone who's just handsome and everyone's like, objectively, someone's going to be like, oh yeah, that guy's handsome, you go John Hamm, just as a general thing.
Okay, you know what? You've got to stop compulsively casting John Hamm in every movie we cover.
Look, John Hamm can play anything. John Hamm could play Nelson Mandela if he wanted to. Okay, he couldn't. I don't think he could. But I would still watch it. Okay. I will refrain from casting John Hamm, but when I think of a handsome man, I immediately think of John Hamm.
Oh.
Big fan of the podcast is John Hamm, so hi, obviously. But, where is that chemistry is also my issue with this. Like, throughout the film, what? He is the biggest asshole in the world.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I love you for reasons.
It shouldn't have ended like that. I don't know. I feel like it maybe would have been a slightly more authentic ending if he'd been like, oh, you're right. I actually clearly have a lot to learn about how feelings work, and I've just been projecting a lot onto you. And she'd go, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want to marry you, you weirdo.
How's your relationship with your mother? Yeah. It would have been far better. But can we just say, I know we dug on Cara Delevingne for her acting. She was stupendous in this film.
She was great. I was so pleasantly surprised.
Given the fact that she is in fact a lesbian, it is amazing how well she acted that she was falling in love with this dude.
I thought she was bisexual. Was I wrong?
I thought she was a lesbian. I've always believed that she was a lesbian.
Okay, I'm gonna Google.
Give it a Google.
Oh, so she's like fluid.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
I guess maybe like pansexual?
Pansexual. Okay. Cool. Well, there's a chance
she says
then.
She's definitely not gay.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay, well, I apologize. I'll take that back. And there's a chance. I'm in there with a chance.
There you go.
I thought she was a really good character in herself. I think, yes, the script was not written for a woman with a mind. No. It was clearly written by a man who thinks he knows what women are.
Oh, you're gonna laugh when you find out who the director is.
I know who the director is, and I'm so excited. I'm so excited for this. Because I saw his name, and I was like, I know what film that's from. That's from... Yeah, but we'll get into it. But yeah, I thought she as a character, like, had some lines, and she had the conviction to be like, no, dude, you're a fucking asshole. I know what I'm doing here. And, like, really do well. So I really enjoyed her character. I thought she was brilliant.
Yeah. No, she was great. I think... The problem is when you're trying to do something which is essentially an epic sci-fi. Like, when you've got a big world like that, it's got to be an epic. To hone in on just two characters...
Yeah.
is, like, the biggest disservice. I guess maybe that's my scene that could have saved it. But, like, you know, I want to know what the other characters are thinking and feeling. I want to know, like, what's important to other people. And, like, I wanted a subplot.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like, just anything else but
Yeah,
focusing
and
them.
Rihanna's character, I was also very impressed by Rihanna and her acting. I thought
Wow.
she was great.
I have a very special place in my heart for Rihanna. Like, just, she's the epitome of big dick energy, and that's why I fucking love her.
Yeah. She's got all the big dick energy.
She's just so perfect. And so, you know, when she chose to do this film, it was her choice.
Yeah.
And she did all of this with full cognizance of the character. And, like, that just makes me really happy in that knowledge.
Yeah. No, she did a great job. And it was, like, her character was killed off pretty needlessly.
Yeah.
And way too soon.
Yeah. Yeah, it was, and, like, that exposition at the end when she died, it was sort of like, oh, okay. This is weird. Yeah, so that's your scene that could have saved it then, sort of more of a B plot.
Yeah, just, you know, like, you want to explore this world more, and the best way to do that is obviously through the people.
Mm-hmm.
And not to... God, I mean, it's how many fucking years later, and it's still just focused on two conventionally attractive white people?
Yeah.
Like...
Can we not?
Come on, guys.
Yeah. It would have been great if, like, one of them was, like, an alien or something. Because, I mean, let's be honest, they're never gonna cast a person of colour as, like, a love interest.
No, don't be ridiculous.
That's crazy. We'd rather go aliens than interrace.
Yeah.
It's
In all
insane.
fairness, to Luc Besson, it is based off a sci-fi comic book series.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Yeah. And then they obviously just picked a specific plot from one of the comic books. But again, you know, some B-plot. Like, that's the best way to explore the world. That's the best way to learn about other characters. Like...
No, agreed. And I'm gonna, for my scene that could have saved it, it's very, very similar to my one for League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Again, it would have worked just so much better as a series. You know, with, like you said, it's an epic, and, you know, unless you have 3 films of 3 hours long each, then you need to do this as a series. So you can explore the different characters. Yeah, you can do the story over 10 episodes, and it'll be amazing.
Even if they had set it up more to be like a trilogy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, then obviously that allows you to get some more B-plots in there and really ramp up to something. Because this kind of felt like...
rushed, but weirdly
it ended,
rushed.
And then you were like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a weird ending, and nothing sort of... Like, there was just so much in the middle that could have been explored more and been made better. And we could find out why these two were together, and Yeah, exactly. You know, and then you've already got 3 different names for the films. You've got Valerian, City of 1,000 Planets, Valerian 2, City of 2,000 Planets, and Valerian 3, City of 3,000 Planets. Oh. And it's perfect. Yeah, it'll be great. So, Luc Besson, tell us about this guy again. Fucking this guy.
So, friends of the podcast will remember Luc Besson, French director of Lucy, which we all loved. He wrote Taken, hence the Taken reference at one point in the movie.
What? Where was the Taken reference? Did I miss it?
Oh, when in the marketplace when Valerian's busy taking the replicator from like the drug lord smuggler dude.
Yeah.
The dude's like, oh, you know, it doesn't matter what dimension you're in, I'll find you and I'll kill you, kind of thing. Right, Valerian goes, good luck.
Hilarious.
So it was a wink and a nod.
That's great. That's a great bit of writing in a marketplace that's literally called Big Market.
Hey, you know what? Sometimes it is what it is.
So how do we feel about Luc Besson, knowing now that we've got 2 movies of his that have been on this podcast?
I think, you know, he tries to, like, avoid being sexist by making really smart female characters.
Yeah.
And I think he did a better job this time. Like, Laureline was a much better, like, more interesting character.
Mm-hmm.
So... good job, but also not his source material, so...
There you go. Can we put a nail in this guy's coffin and call him a bad director? Can we just do that?
You know, the thing is, like, he did The Fifth Element.
Ah, damn it. That always comes back.
Yeah.
Fuck.
And also, these movies weren't poorly directed. You have to admit, like, the overall filmography was very good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So sorry, Chad.
Damn it. Look, when you're right, you're right. And I can't argue with you there. Oh, God. Okay, fair enough.
God.
Well,
Yeah.
great. I'm glad we've finally done Valerian, the city of 1,000
We sure
planets. Jesus. And yeah, fuck. Well done on that plot synopsis. Christ.
Thanks.
That's amazing. So then...
There wasn't actually much of a plot. There was just a lot of action sequences.
Yeah, there was a mishmash of different scenes, and it became a film.
Yep.
So, yeah. So then, tell us, what are you excited for? What's hippity-hoppity happening?
The new trailer for The Lion King came out.
Which I wanted to talk about, but yes, I want to hear your thoughts.
Do you think it's going to podcast?
I don't know. I genuinely... Tell me what your thoughts first.
I started tearing up just from the fucking trailer. So I know I'm going to be a mess when that movie comes out.
My biggest thing, now that I've seen the bits of Nala and Simba when they're sort of, can you feel the love tonighting, does live animation lion sex count as porn, was my question. I
mean, in the same way that watching a nature documentary does not count as porn.
I mean, to some people it does. I'm not kink shaming,
what are you saying
but
about yourself?
I'm not king. No, I'm not. No. Look, everyone knows that's not what I'm into. Everyone knows what I am into.
Does everyone know?
You are into what? Helicopters is my kink. Helicopters.
Sure, they're very majestic.
Give me an Apache 1947 winding down, or even just talking about it now, I'm fired up.
Spare us.
Grr. But yeah, so, like, I don't know how I feel about Lion King. I mean, I'm not gonna go watch it. Like, I'll wait for it to come out on DVD.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, we've spoken about these before. Live action Disney, you know, I'm kind of over it. It didn't do well with Jungle Book. It's probably not going to do well with Aladdin. I don't think it's going to do well with Lion King. Okay, but consider
this. The casting of The Lion King is incredible.
Yeah!
John Oliver plays Zazu. It's got Donald Glover.
That is great.
It's got
great.
Beyonce.
That's fair. The casting is superb. It's got, what's his name, reprising his role as Mufasa as well, which is great. James Earl Jones.
Jones, yes.
Which is going to be amazing. But, like, yeah, I mean, I hope it does well, because it's The Lion King. It's what we grew up on. And I'm excited to see what they do. But, yeah, I've been hurt before, and I don't want to get hurt again. Also, I'm very worried. I'm very nervous about Disney now. Did you know? I found out today. Disney Plus is coming out later this year. I don't know if you've heard of Disney Plus. Don't be excited about this. Disney Plus is going to cement Disney as the overlord of all of us. Disney now owns Marvel. Disney owns Fox. Disney owns Star Wars and Lucasfilms. Disney is now gonna have a channel like Netflix, which means that you are gonna be locked into an ecosystem of Disney Plus for your entire life. They will control everything. They're gonna be $1 trillion company. They're gonna kill Netflix because Netflix will have to pay them to host Marvel and Star Wars films, and then
they already
you're even gonna have to just. Yeah, but they're going to have to pay them more because now they've got to compete against Disney Plus. Like, it's a disaster. I know I'm being very apocalyptic about this, but we are literally owned by 6 companies, and Disney is going to be the overlord of all of them. Okay. I'm very scared.
Conversely, am very excited to be able to access all the Disney movies and shows that I love so dearly.
I'm scared, Simone,
and if
for
they
our
make
future.
more original content the same way Netflix is making original content, like, specifically for streaming, like, that's kind of fun. They're also, we know that they're doing a Lady and the Tramp remake specifically for Disney Plus, and, like, that's fun. That's gonna be great.
You work for Disney. You don't fool me.
I wish. Disney hit me up. I will become soulless for you.
Look, to be fair, in a couple of years, all of us will work for Disney. No matter what, industry we're in, Disney will own all of us.
They own it all.
So yeah, we'll be all working for Disney.
Yeah.
So,
what are you gonna do next week, Chad?
Now that that's over with, I'm gonna do. It's a film called The Professor. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for the professor. It's our favorite person in the world, Johnny Depp.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so basic
Okay.
plot. Basic plot, I'll just run through it very quickly. Johnny Depp is a professor, hence the name, who is diagnosed with incurable cancer. He then goes sort of on a search for meaning and the fact that life is meaningless, so he sort of becomes very self-destructive, sort of smoking weed and drinking
Like the
during
actual
class.
Johnny Depp?
Just like the actual Johnny Depp, so it's a very true-to-life story. Sort of, drinking and smoking during class, gets his students to drink and smoke during class, breaks up with his wife, sleeps around, typical white dude destructive shit, with any excuse type of vibe. So, it looks cute. I did laugh a couple times at the trailer. I didn't want to, because of how I feel about Johnny Depp. Yeah. And I hope it does well, because, I never want to see a film do badly, but I think this film is going to do badly, because it's just another tropey bullshit life thing.
Fair enough.
So those are my feelings. And there we have it, guys. On that very bland note, we've done it again. Bwah, bwah, bwah.
Bwah, bwah, bwah. Chad, what movie do you want to cover next week?
Okay, so I gave you a hint earlier. What do you think I'm doing?
Boy. Is it one of the Hulk movies?
It is not one of the Hulk movies.
Oh. Okay, what movie?
Even though that would be great.
Oh, God.
That would be great to do that. But no,
God.
I, my dearest friend in the whole wide world, will be doing Angry Birds, the movie. Yeah, motherfucker! Angry Birds!
Fuck!
Angry Birds! Feel it. Feel it in your body. The app
I
that
don't
took the world by
wanna.
storm and is now a movie with a sequel that's coming out. So get ready for that. But Angry Birds. And then, what movie are you gonna do? Sad Simone.
I will be doing Queen of the Damned.
Queen of the Damned. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
the movie that made Anne Rice so angry, she refused to be associated with it.
That's fair. I mean, Interview with a Vampire was a smash hit. So
Yeah,
anything...
you know what's interesting about Interview with a Vampire, though, is she also hated it. Like, she was really mad that they cast Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise, and she raved against it. She refused to go to the premiere. And then eventually the filmmakers sent her a copy of the movie, and she sat and watched it, and then wrote a 10-page apology essay because it was
nice.
So good.
At least she can admit when she's wrong. That's lovely.
Yeah, I mean, I fully understand why she was. She had a lot of trepidation around Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise playing those characters.
But they actually did a really good job.
They did I need to watch it again. You know what? I might watch it before Queen of the Damned, just so I can remember what a good vampire movie is.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with Interview with the Vampire as a teenager.
It is a great film.
Goth.
Look, I mean, that was our industry.
It was
That's
Interview
what we
with the
did.
Vampire and Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, what a life you lived. So many capes, so much red colour.
So many capes, corsets.
Ah, how are we friends? That's amazing.
I mean, I still do love it. I just am not trying to emulate it,
Yeah. Van Helsing must have driven you fucking mental.
Girl, you don't even know.
Brilliant. Well, there you have it, guys. You know what to watch for next week. How was your week this week, Simone?
It was okay. My parents are in town, so we were away for the weekend. And we're back now, and I get to hang out with them. I went shopping with my mom today. Bought a comfy new sweater. So I'm looking forward to the week ahead.
Awesome. Woo! Big excites. Big excites.
Yes, and how was your week?
The usual, the same. Exam studyings. I'm getting okay at violin. I can string a tune together.
Hey.
So that's a good achievement. I feel good about that.
Look at you.
I'm making a chicken pot pie tonight, and nothing terrifies me more than pastry. So that should be good fun. As I said to you before we started recording, I've done many dangerous things in my life. I've swum with baby tiger sharks. I've gone spelunking. I've literally had a lion run at me. But pastry is what scares me the most. So tonight should be interesting.
If I were you, I'd say screw the low calorie and just buy pastry.
Just buy pastry. That's fair. I should have done that. It's going to turn out to be a disaster. I'm going to end up crying. But, it's fine. It's fine. So where can the people find you? Where can the people find us? Tell us, reveal your secrets.
So people can find me on Instagram at simone.ellie.raux for pictures of my cats and food.
And family.
They can find us at It's Not That Bad 1 on Facebook and Twitter, and at It's Not That Bad Podcast on Instagram. They can also email us at It's Not That Bad Podcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, good. And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at chatsby1993. You can also find us on Forge and Flint for our great articles, short stories, and poetry. And guys, please do subscribe. Please rate us. Leave us reviews. We really appreciate it. It's how we sort of spread our message.
Yes.
You know, the algorithms on the great overlords of iTunes and Spotify only recognize those podcasts with amazing reviews and things. So we need those 5 stars.
Please, guys.
But if you don't like the podcast, tell us why, so we can, be better for you. We want to be better for you. We're the annoying girlfriend who just wants to be better for you.
Yeah.
Hashtag. I don't know what hashtag that would be, but hashtag free Nelson Mandela. That's what I'm gonna go for since he's been mentioned. Hashtag John Hamm for Mandela 2020. So there you have it, everyone. Have a great week. We where the fuck am I going with this? Jesus Christ! I've lost my goddamn mind.
Rein it in.
Here we go. Let's try it again. And guys, as we say at the end of every episode, we love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Bye.
Bye.